So it's been one of those interesting mornings already because there's a lot of shit that already happened. It's like been like crazy since yesterday. Not only has he been indicted, yes, the man has been indicted in full. Is everybody about to come? And I think everybody kind of gets online at the same time. So a bunch of people are like spinning uh, without end. But anyway, so since Trump got indicted yesterday and screamed about it, because that's the first thing he did, was he said, "Oh, I've been indicted. The world is horrid. It's horrid." Hold on.
Mega Worldwide. Thank you for joining me.
I am not sure why, but he is. I'll refresh that one. It's been a good day. It's been a good morning so far, and it's gonna get even better. But let's listen in on everything because now we've also got Walt Nada, who's been indicted, and since he got indicted, that gives you the conspiracy part for those of you who don't get it. And if
thing is not only stacking up higher than the other
right, it
properties,
is.
the
It is.
Stormy Daniels case had
Yeah.
first kind of set a
Yeah.
precursor
Yeah.
to a bunch of people to start like
Oh, he's been.
the exits and then the
Wah.
document stuff.
Right.
The thing that
Yep.
put them over the edge.
Exactly.
It's good times.
Good times. But anyway, for those of you who don't quite get it,
Anyway,
by the way, every there in this indictment is going to be conspiracy, and I believe also the dissemination of the information is going to be in phone calls that they have recordings of. And we know about one of them already. And I'm also a little pissed off that our media does not seem to understand that that phone call alone was dissemination. It does not have to be to a foreign power per se. And that's the problem. People do not seem to understand. It does not have to be given to MBS to be a problem of dissemination of information. Just FYI. Nobody else seems to be talking about that. I knew there was going to be other people who had to be indicted. I think Walt Nada is just one of many, but it's going to get even worse. It's going to get much worse and much thicker than this. Hold on, I'm going to bring everybody up in the background so it's kind of like this little mubble of blah, da, 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 da.
I need more time. Let's delay this.
Is that he's going to walk free.
Until after the November 24th.
Okay? I want you clear on that.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, see what he's doing. He's like saying, "Hey, can you if we're going to do this, let's do this.
That's right. He's going to still
Help us out. Help us out wherever you can." I see what he's saying here. Let me do that one's a little better. Okay. So hold on, because something else just broke with CNN.
You really need not just people who are admitted in the Southern District of Florida to practice, but you need people who really understand some of the minutia of how documents are classified and declassified, how the branches of government interact, how the National Archives and Record Administration takes custody of documents at 12:01 p.m. on Inauguration Day and on down. And these are the matters, setting aside the factual questions of whether Donald Trump committed these offenses.
Right.
These are legal questions that are going to have to be resolved, many of them in advance of trial. And
Correct.
You need experts, not people that are your buddies, to try the case. And
To try to thank you.
You know, I just think it's important that they get a good team on board. It's not clear that they do.
We will not be able to have a fully contextual conversation about this until we see the indictment.
Yeah.
Right? That's when we start from there. What have they?
Hopefully the indictment will get unsealed, maybe even later today, because I don't think it's going to stay sealed. Let's see how soon they do a press conference, because it's getting, the gish gallop is thick.
That's right. Manufactured lies about the bike ad.
Oh my God, it's all over the place this morning, isn't it?
He's no longer on the legal team, by the way. I don't know if he's just going to be going on Fox News and
Hold on, I'm just going to swap really quickly.
Folks, let them investigate the Bidens. Let them talk about it. The more they talk about the Bidens, the more they show that there's no evidence
Yep.
of crime.
Yep.
The worse it's going to be for them.
Yep. Let them keep doing this Biden bullshit, and there's nothing that's going to come of it ever. It just won't.
in South Florida. They're like, yeah, that makes sense. Even Republicans are like, yeah, that makes sense. I mean, Jesus Christ, there was people, anchors on Newsmax, posting videos on the internet last night saying, well, he'll win from a prison cell and then he can pardon himself. That's
Sorry, hold on. I gotta go back to that. Yeah, that's just bullshit.
Mike Pence.
That's just bullshit. That's just bullshit. He is not going to. Yes, I've heard one group of people.
Beck is being paid by Trump.
I've heard in all of the man on the streets. I've heard one gentleman who literally used Trump's words, but everybody else that they talked to was like, yeah, we have to see what it says, but some of this looks like, it might be something bad for Trump this time. He may have done some bad stuff. May.
It was all Millie's fault, or whatever the fuck it was about these plans with Iran.
Okay, here we go. Thank you for pointing this out, Tony. I want to make sure everybody's pointing this out.
It's not surprising.
That part right there is dissemination, kids.
Is it? And if it is surprising to you, maybe you're not living in quite the reality that you need to be. The craziest part, the most surprising thing, and the reason why we live in such a weird timeline is that this makes him the king of their party.
What is with this shit? See what I mean? This is my thing about the bullshit of white supremacy, and it forgives all for one reason. And why does it do that? And it's stupidity. Why are you after this man? What is it about this one man's hate that just draws you guys to go right along with him? Just party on with him, not even knowing what he's been accused of. And by the way, don't forget, for all of you who've forgotten, we still have January 6th. And I do believe there's going to be indictments on that, too. That may actually make the documents case look like crap. Because if they're doing conspiracy on the documents case with Walt Nada, and there is a known conspiracy that's looking like it's going to be a RICO case coming out of Georgia. Oh, kids, we are a long way off. We've got so far to go. We are just at the beginning. I mean, so at the beginning. Oh, yeah, I remember.
In the general election against Joe Biden based on affiliation. Folks, this turkey is done. It's done. All we have to do is do the work. That's it. We just have to do the work.
Oh, my God. It's going to be fun to watch.
Jack Smith.
I don't quite understand.
And their team is definitely done the work on making sure this motherfucker's held accountable.
Oh, yeah. I agree.
That's the good news here.
I agree.
Right? I mean, there's going to be a ton of stuff that's going to piss you off because he's not in jail. He's not in an orange.
Well, and hold on, folks, because like we said, it's not just the documents case. We've got January 6th. We still have Georgia. And it's going to be case after case after case. And if the Georgia case goes the way I think the Georgia case is going to go, it's going to force the DOJ to do a RICO. Ooh. Yeah, I think everybody's going to start talking about it finally. Because it's more and more, if the Georgia case goes the way I think the Georgia case goes, it's going to force the DOJ to actually go a little further. Now, that might actually happen with the January 6th case. I believe the January 6th case, the attempted coup through all those states, and because they sent documents in, that may be the only reason that he does do time for January 6th, too. Now, does it get to seditious conspiracy? Because that's where January 6th is headed towards. It's nice to talk about the documents case, but I don't think the documents case is the end. I think the documents case is just the beginning. I think what he's got in New York is nothing. New York case, who cares? That New York case will be the least of the problems he has. Georgia and DOJ are now, I believe, right now, to this day, right this moment, are the end of him. And I still do not believe, fuck your polls. If we went by your fucking polls, we'd have had Hillary Clinton already. We'd have had Jeb Bush already. Stop. I don't give a fuck about your polls. What I care about is a group of people who have been talked to like they're adults in a group, who've had time to actually go through and say everything they want to say, not a 15-second poll online or on the phone. Fuck that bullshit. Because what I'm hearing from those people is, no. Last week, a little bit more, but this week, it's increasingly becoming no. Now, does that mean it's going to show in that 15-second poll, that online poll? Probably not. But when you actually start talking to people, when you actually do the groups, he's not doing as well. Forgive me, but I continue to say this. Our media has a very bad habit of overplaying the white supremacy in such a way that it's showing how fucked up it really is. We are literally, how do you explain this? January 6th, if you actually paid attention to the number of people, was not a humongous group of people. Comparatively, there were more people surrounding the White House in protest just days before. Comparatively, 3 times. Some people put it at 5 times the number of people that were there for January 6th. But that's not something that's talked about, because that doesn't tell you the difference in the number of people who want it one way, where everybody has equality, and are 5 times the number of people who want it the other way, which is to burn the place down. Again, fill in the pool, burn it down, fuck you. I don't give a fuck about the rest of the world. It's only what I want, nothing else. Doesn't work. That's just not how it works. And actually, if you educate your people and you get an entire community together, what you'll find is some of the best living there is in the goddamn fucking world. It is your hate and your hatred that we need to get rid of, because that's the problem. And the fact that we keep going with this fucking cult of Trump, the cult of white supremacy, the cult of a system that literally says, fuck your goddamn science, yet uses it every goddamn day to fuck you over. Uses it every day to say, fuck your science, ignore it. Don't just get on that plane and ignore why it flies. Not understand why your fucking gas stove is killing you, you dumb shit, if you don't have it fucking ventilated right. That you don't understand that restaurants actually have ventilation systems that are set up for not only the food to be sucked out, but the gas to be sucked out. But people don't know that, because that's not how our media tells you. They don't tell you the news that's actually there to help you. They tell you the news that happened because something exploded, but not the law that fixed it. And that's part of the problem. Right now, the law that's fixing it, the white supremacy, the ridiculousness, I mean, it's a tangential law. It's an outside law. It's not what should be being used, but it's what we got. It's what we're going to get for now. Top secret. Okay, let's see what everybody else is
They
talking
are
about right
now.
quick.
They're not hiding it. Jesus Christ, Marjorie Taylor Greene yesterday went into a skiff and immediately came out, took notes of what the shit she's seen in the skiff, and then went on TV and said it out loud. And you're still wondering if Donald Trump is showing people who shouldn't see classified information. Get the fuck out of here with this bullshit. You people are full of garbage. Pieces of trash you are if you think that shit.
It's amazing.
It is clear that this is not the party of law and order, and it never has been.
Thank you. They've never been.
This is their personality.
They've been white hate. They've been hate. They've been destroyed.
Not as I do.
I'm sorry. They wanted to destroy the freaking Capitol because they didn't get their way, even though there was absolutely no proof, not a dime of it. See, again, I will come back to it. When your entire world is a fucking lie of white supremacy, your God man who forgives you for everything, the minute you say, I believe in you, you can live and do whatever the fuck you want to do. Because the rest of the world doesn't matter. God done given me what I got, and I don't care about the rest of y'all. See, that's a problem. That's a big-ass problem. And that's what we need to stop saying we're going to live by, because this is the problem with this whole system, where you are literally living by somebody like Trump.
It's done. It's over. He can't turn it back. He can't undo what he said. No matter
Down into the water.
no matter where
Republican base. And there is not enough voters that are anti-Trump and still Republican for really an Asa Hutchinson in the lane that's been really explicit about these charges to be able to do that alone. That's why you're seeing those candidates really start at the baseline of defending Trump, because they simply know that's where the voter and the electorate base is. The question will be, does that shift as this goes along? Someone I talked to today said the facts might actually be the problem here. Maybe not necessarily that he committed a crime, but that he looks cavalier to things like national security. They can maybe use those things in the debate moment to attack Donald Trump, but the indictment itself is not really threatening to really shift voters based on the information we know so far.
Because it's his voters who are not there for anything but... Okay, understand this. We are not in this system where we are voting for a man because he is best at what he's done. They are voting for this man because he is their fucking Hitler. You don't want to hear it, but this is just the fucking fact. He's their fucking goddamn bigoted leader who's okay and will do what they want, which is use the military. He was going to use the fucking military to keep power. This is the kind of person that they want. They want a leader who will control them. They don't get that the minute that this happens, we are no longer the United States. All of this goes away. Every fucking thing you are about goes away. Because if you've been to Russia, you understand it ain't nothing like he is. Not a dime. Not a fucking piece of it. But you're too stupid to understand that this is the only country that is like this. Even Canada's a little different. Even England's a little different. Yes. Every one of them are just a little different. This is the only country that's like it. And the minute you get rid of democracy, it will no longer be. And maybe some people are starting to figure that out, but I'm sorry. I'm not going to keep listening to these idiots who go by the polls. Because it's not polls that you should be caring about. It should be actually getting the information discerned. And I guess if you really want to discern it, what we got to do is probably stop paying attention to the CNNs of the world as much and start actually just going more and more online. Because I'm finding that the people online are actually figuring out and going through the data and information and using the data and information, not opinion from an idiot who's walking by who doesn't even know the question to ask.
else are we supposed to do? That's the arena we're in. Jesus Christ, have you watched Grandpa Poopy Pants lose his mind on True Social?
Oh my God, is he losing his fucking gourd? Oh God, really, Glenn? Glenn. Okay, hold on. I gotta see what this is about.
Take something
Sorry.
that's patently obvious and normal and make it look extraordinary, and that you should be embarrassed to talk about it in its normalcy, and the idea that you recognize that that's a thing, somehow it turns you into that means you are saying that is the biggest threat on the planet, and that's what we have to wear.
He's still
Go
using,
fight, not a legal one in the courts. The courts will handle that. I'm talking.
He's still
about
using
the
Twitter, so I'm not gonna really get
this.
into everything about it.
We will win it every single time, and we will continue to win. We just have to do the work. That's all we have to do is engage in our democracy, believe
Again.
in institutions.
All right, I'm gonna
Don't play your
swamp.
stupid fucking games when they want to have conversations about
Sorry.
whether Donald Trump can declassify.
Okay, again, can we get away from the declassification bullshit? Because that, again, once you understand what these charges are, and I really hope that they are unsealed today, because the minute they're unsealed, the whole world's going to change.
That's what I say. Politicize the shit out of this. You goddamn right. It's about politics. You fucking
And it's just ridiculous.
motherfucker.
We keep platforming these idiots.
Let's do it.
Make sure that when you play them behind you. Don't take your whole screen. Don't give them your screen. But there's so much more to come. We are still at the very beginning of this. January 6th, I think, is going to be a lot more interesting. And Georgia is going to give us even more, because every single one of these cases brings more and more crap to the forefront. And that's the thing, is as we get more and more stuff that we see, how guilty he is, how much he I think we're in for a whole new world. Just a whole fucking new world. Let me see what he's talking about now that he's gotten off.
Garbage.
Made a fucking pride logo, so go to store.
Yeah. It's just
get your merch there. And thank you for the support.
Nope.
Okay.
All right, so he's gone.
Want to support the show? The best way to do it for free is to subscribe.
Subscribe, please do. Anyway, I'm going to kick off for a little while, and we will be back maybe around 2 or 3, because we're actually going to do a bit more on a few other shows. So I will see probably most of you later today.
And if you're watching on Twitch, hello from Twitch. Go to twitch.tv/TheTonyMichaels. You can follow us over there.
I know it was a short show today. It's only a half hour, but
all the platforms, no matter which one you're on.
It's Friday.
Highly enjoy.
There's a lot going on. There's a lot of different shows to get through. And we'll probably be seeing you on some of the other stuff that's coming up too.
Single directory, Apple, Spotify, Google.
Thank you so much, and we'll talk to you later.
Download.